Nino, this is Blake. She's
We've
Tempest's lawyer.
met.
Hey, yep.
She's a lawyer that's on retainer for the club.
Oh, okay. Hell
She's
yeah.
also got a new title that I'm not allowed to say, and she's a clerk.
Oh shit.
One of the people you're probably mad at right now for the legislation stuff, but to be fair, I didn't know we weren't supposed to do it.
No, I'm not mad at you guys. I'm mad at the justices. They lied to everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, after last night, not gonna lie, I kind of flipped the switch on Frodo and got very, very angry. And I got in trouble, but he didn't, so it's always great.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he didn't. A cop made a complaint about me, though, so...
For being a lawyer?
He gave it to me, and I gave it back, and I guess I gave it back a little bit too good, and he didn't like that.
Oh, my God.
Listen,
it's not the first time this has happened to you.
Look, I get it. People saying you should be a professional as a lawyer, and believe me, with most people, they don't have a problem with me. But if you disrespect me, you can't just think because of my job, I'm just going to sit there and take it.
Yep. Not wrong.
I'm still a human being.
Yeah.
Job or no job, I will not have someone talk to me the way Frodo does.
Good lawyers will always be aggressive because you are fighting for your client and their rights, and people's feelings can suck a fucking dick because we're talking about people's lives here. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And if they want me to be someone that's gonna pussyfoot around people, then
no,
I know where I stand.
Yeah. You know, I never really understood that. You know, this reminds me, yesterday I woke up. I'd been out of town for like 3 days. I woke up and one of the first text messages I saw was, I don't know if you ever met Jesus Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's great.
Him and the Reverend are in a sanitation truck doing sanitation. And he gets pulled over. And there was a back and forth. But clearly the cop was annoyed because they did something called a 10 board. I've seen it before, like 10 years ago. Fred did it to me once. It's fucking cringe as shit. You got a bunch of cops show up. I got a photo. 8 to 10 cops, Air One, and a fucking tank.
Oh yeah.
So
I've had them pull me over in a Sani truck, shown them my ID, told them I'm a lawyer, told them you can look me up, you can check my state bar license, and they still had like 3 units of backup. And I'm like, you really think a court clerk's gonna run? Seriously? From a traffic stop? Seriously?
Yeah.
Give me some respect, please.
Well, that's the thing.
It's dumb as when the first time I think I got arrested with Tempest. We were allegedly robbing a 24/7, but the people inside just had a Sabre Turbo and 3 highway patrol units showed up, 2 premiers and the.
Oh, because they assumed that it was your vehicle or something.
Yeah, but it's a Sabre Turbo. The thing's ass.
You managed to find out anything yesterday?
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, in regards to.
What the heck is going on?
Oh, no. I was so furious. I skipped the meeting with the judges.
Oh.
Because the thing is, this is the 3rd time they've pulled this shit. And every time they're like, oh, we're not like the old DOJ. We're not going to. This is so ass. So I'll give you a picture of why it's so frustrating. Last time something like this happened, we had to contest the legislation that every legislative body, the mayors, the SAMA, and the DOJ, utilized to like introduce new law. Because what was happening is judges were just randomly coming up with new legislation and throwing it up without the public even having a chance to react to it. The problem is that they could shit something out, but for us to fight it takes like 100 man hours, right? Because you have to like write up a whole contest. You got to go do this and got to do that. And the result of it was that the state officials responded and told the DOJ that it is not their place. And we still have the letter that the justices still have a copy of. we then had to have the governor come in to represent the rest of the state officials and explain to the one or two of the 6 justices that showed up how things work, which is the bodies introduce something in legislation, put it on City Hall, everyone can review it. If there's problems, you know, it gets sorted out in conversation in the city. It then took 2 months, maybe even 3 months, for us to finally hash out the details that were meant to be done 3 months ago. Like, he gave us homework, but it took him so long to get it completed. By them going and introducing these penal code charges just the way that they did is them backdooring and circumventing that same system again. So it's kind of like you hit a donkey enough times, it's still a fucking donkey, right? They're not learning. So, and I knew deep down that the moment I would bring up my concern with it, they would start crying, and lo and behold, as soon as I start a conversation, I'm getting interrupted left and right, and it's just like, oh my God, you slapped me across the face by putting out a state announcement. It's like, motherfuckers, I represent the fucking city. Like, what am I not supposed to address the public and let them know that, like, we're looking into this dumb shit that's been passed? Like, it's fucking embarrassing.
I have a big problem with just, the whole hot charge thing. I agree we should amend the penal code and stuff, but it should be passed by people, and I was assuming it was going to be passed by all the appropriate parties, which clearly it was not.
Well, I can tell you that there's a bit of a narrative suggesting that myself and Mumbles reviewed the penal code. They actually last Sunday told us they were changing the fine and time, and then they snuck in all this other shit. So how are we not supposed to look at that like they did something foul? You know what I mean?
Is this the law that got changed, Blake? Is this the law that they're trying to push on?
There was a few things that got changed, a few things that were added, a few things that got rid of.
Yeah.
I personally, only thing I proposed, this was weeks ago, was criminal possession of a hunting rifle, I believe. But they said that was the mayor's place to enforce a law like that and legislate it, is what I was told.
And that's correct, which is why it's so strange for them to sort of out of the blue make a determination that, like, jump boots are illegal. Where's the investigation? Where's the court case? Where's the legislation? Where's the, you know what I mean? Because, and I want to give an example, is that they're effectively saying we don't need to write legislation anymore. We can just make things illegal. It's so, could you imagine they could pass a law that says marriage is illegal?
Yeah. Who did the making moonshine illegal again? In Blaine County.
Well, making moonshine is still illegal down south.
Yeah, but it's illegal again in
North
Blaine County as of today, right?
It has been, and I think they limited it now to you need a liquor license, and it can be one distillery.
Oh. I mean, my concern, I think, right now as a lawyer with all the Tempest shit is they won't tell me if there's an active investigation, which I somewhat understand, but from a moral standpoint, I disagree with, because if you're looking into a kind of penalty that can lead to the punishment that some of these hot charges can lead to, I think someone has a right to know. What is the point in having something that says we have freedom of information, but then limiting how much freedom you have to gain that information?
Oh, you are on my FOIA arc that led me to become mayor.
How can you call it a Freedom of Information Act and then limit the information I am allowed to provide people about their lives? That's
a great question.
Brain dead. Like, I'm trying to ask you, are you giving someone a hot charge that you literally describe as being, like, potential life in prison, or the death penalty. But, oh, sorry, Blake, you can't have that information. You're not free to have that information, but we have a Freedom of Information Act. Like, what?
Yeah.
What in the blue? What?
Yeah. It's, so law enforcement have the ability to withhold evidence that may pertain to an active investigation. However, after the 30-day statute is over, they then have to provide that to you if you request it. Part of the challenge has become is that law enforcement and in turn the justices, if I'm going to be honest, do not have the education necessary to understand what law enforcement is and what's the phrase I'm looking for? I don't think they understand the basic principles of due process, right?
I mean, I got told by an officer a few days ago that I'm a lesser because I'm a lawyer and they're an officer. So, I mean, I don't
know where that's cooked.
At this point, I am ready to just throw it in the towel and be like, I can't stand by something that I don't think I believe in anymore.
I would say, try to stay strong as long as you can. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's almost become impossible now when judges are passing shit based on rumors that law enforcement might be telling them.
I mean, when we sat down and we worked through all the charges and stuff, I assumed everyone kind of had the information to allow them to do what we did. Because, I mean, we were sat there for a very long time.
I have no idea. But that's the reason why our system was designed for there to be public scrutiny. I'm going to give you a prime example, right? PNY cards are legally obtained through Tier 3 G6.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something that's even more cooked. That, and I like Barrett, I do. But he sent me a text message that said,
Marshall Barrett. I've only really seen him a couple of times. He seems nice though.
That's the core basis of their reason behind the contraband thing. I've reached out to Ron Oil to see if they have a foreign trade partner that can engage in a contract for legal delivery to resolve that issue. We need a foreign trade partner willing to transport and sell single shipment of wingsuits, jump boots, and grapple guns. I don't know how to put this in any other way than to say that it sounds like a marshal talked to the justices and these dumb fucks in the DOJ were like, let's listen to a singular individual and assume that what they're saying is accurate, which is, hey, jump boots probably only come from the cargo ship, therefore we're going to make it illegal, right? No court case, no like whatever, nothing. And that is kind of, I don't know how to put this. It's fucking weird as shit if you start doing shit like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's gonna be the downfall of the entire department.
Yes.
I just think a lot of conversations need to be had, but
yeah,
I personally, right now, I am losing faith.
Yeah. Well, tell me. So, what happened with you guys?
She can give you the legal side of it. I can give you what actually happened.
Okay.
I trust Nino. I trust Nino, like with everything. So I don't mind.
Yeah, I know the legal side of it. The legal side of it is just Frodo got lippy with me. I took Chris and Violet with me because she's a head clerk. Chris is a lawyer. I like to have a second opinion, and I mean, the weird thing is, Frodo called Tempest out of the blue, just randomly, So when he came by, I was like, you do realize that's harassment. He has an attorney. He has multiple attorneys. If you call him again, I'm filing for harassment. Do not call someone without their attorney.
Yeah.
But
was there like a pending case at this point?
This is the thing. They won't tell me if there's a report or a pending investigation. They won't tell me anything.
I see.
I'm not even asking what's in it. I'm just asking if one is happening. And I can't even get that.
Yeah, this is all because of something that went down.
That's not even freedom of... That's not freedom of information. I'm a lawyer. What am I going to do? Realistically. You can't trust someone that's had a bar license. What's the point? It just kind of seems like at this point we're just making rules on the go, and then, you know, if someone doesn't like it, it's like, oh, that's bad. That's a shame. I don't like to do my job like that.
Yeah. God damn it. She's not wrong, though.
Okay, so do you want me to say what happened?
Please.
Okay, so yesterday we allegedly took a... well, no, fuck it, it's on report. We took a dispatch hostage for a jewelry store.
Okay.
After we asked her if she works for the government or is affiliated, and her answer was no, I used to be
stop.
So we were like, okay.
Come on, bro.
We did not know she was dispatched, so we took her hostage. That first pissed me off because, yeah, I asked you a question with a gun to your forehead and you told me no. Then we saw her get arrested afterwards while we were in prison because apparently she committed a felony. And then...
Wait, was this the dispatcher?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Dispatcher apparently tried to steal a cop car because the cops wouldn't give her a ride back.
Yes. So then
it was a cop car?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. All right.
So
yeah.
When I was in prison and I saw her, I went to confront her just based on principle. Like if I ask you, are you a government official? You say no, and you turn out to be a dispatcher. You kind of fuck us in the end. If the police are like, oh, these people kidnapped the dispatch.
Right. Oh, 100%.
And then I called her stupid, and then she pulled out a knife and tried to and she stabbed me in prison. And then I had Tempest and someone else with me, and they do what everything do if your friend gets stabbed. So that happens. Words get said back and forth. The doctors pick me up in Bolingbroke. I go speak to a DOC member, just ask them, like, have they seen her? They said no, but I must check with her husband because he is DOC. This guy, after I got stabbed, went to beat me down and the people defending me down instead of beating his wife, who had a knife.
Jesus.
And let's be honest, how does she get the knife in jail?
Yeah, so allegedly, I confronted him with an alleged pistol that I had stored, and I shot him in the forehead after I asked him, where did you get... There's a bit sus that, like, where'd she get a knife from? Your wife. And you were DOC. And he's like, oh, prison, there's weapons all over prison. They're easy to come by. So I said, yeah, no, pulled out a gun, shot him in the head, and then got beaten down. So me standing on principle is like, how is a DOC's wife in prison has a knife? The only thing I can think of that he gave her a knife.
I mean, it definitely does sound like that. But wait, so how does... I'm confused. Where does
Tempest come into this?
Yeah.
Here's the wild part. They can explain it.
The DOC guard, well, one of them then called Tempest, told him there's an active investigation to try hit him with serial assaults and killings. Weirdly timed after that incident in the prison, which, I'm sorry, but she's not dead, so it's kind of not serial assaults and killings, because... She stabbed first, which is, well, it should be in the report, and if it's not, then they lied. But
wait, this is why they're suggesting that?
This is how this came about. This is how he got the phone call. This is how he found out that there was an investigation. I mean, this guy, the only violent felonies he has is robbery of a high security, which, respectfully, I don't see kidnapping as a violent charge. If you are not physically harming a person, all you do is point a weapon at them, technically, you haven't done anything violent. Verbally, you were violent, but physically, you were not.
Yeah. So law enforcement does have the ability to lie to you. However, those lies have to be... There are certain lines you cannot cross. For example, I cannot say you are under arrest for serial assaults and killings if I don't intend to actually press those charges. They can say that, hey, we have enough to build a case on serial assaults and killings, but we know that not to be the case. I would say that if you are getting effectively harassed, does Frodo have any relationships with these people?
No. The only person he has a history with would be me. Unfortunately.
But how does his relationship with you lead to...
Oh, he didn't know it was me. He didn't know I was their lawyer, so he doesn't...
Is
didn't
he
know
just
until
dumb?
I
Is that what's
confronted
happening here? Like, is he? Does he not know?
Do you want me to be completely blunt?
Yes,
Because,
yes.
You know, I've already been told off once about keeping it professional. But I'll say what I said to Frodo yesterday. I did ask him if he had been dropped on the head at the academy, and that is, I shall digress.
I'm still.
That man should not be a cop.
Is he? Is it that bad?
If you're gonna go around throwing hot charges at people that can get them the death penalty, when you have no evidence, and the guy's only violent felony is literally kidnapping, which is nor an assault or a killing, you probably shouldn't be in your career.
But so, like, even if we play devil's advocate here, right, and just say, he's in over his head, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he, the way that he was presenting himself, does it sound like he's serious, or does it sound like he's looking for a reason to screw someone over? Like, I'm just, what I mean?
He denied it. He said that it had nothing to do with him, and I got Falconers to look into it, and apparently it doesn't have anything to do with him, so DOC lied about what officer was involved. But I get the impression from Falconer and what he said to me, I get the impression there's something exists. I'm just not being told what it is.
What the fuck?
And I will find out.
I would highly recommend putting together a document that specifies that you are looking for any report and information regarding your client, and that in the event those things cannot be provided because of the statute of limitation, that they will be provided after the statute ends. And then giving that document directly to the police department in a report where they give you the report number. Fuck. There's no way. I feel like they were missing something.